ARP, Lawrence, and let me talk to y'all. So, MaxOUT1 happened, right? I threw my money in the screen because I remember because I was there because I had thrown the money. So I threw my money in the screen. ARP, I said take my money. MaxOUT2 though, I threw my money in Ant's Cash App. I'm pulling up. MaxOUT2, Mr. Check the Temperature is in the building. I'll be on the balcony with my guys in VIP, but I'm in the building. Oh, I'm in the building. You giving me Hitman versus Calico, Warfd versus Rosenburg Raw, and Daylyt versus King Los? What? How you doing this? How do you continually give us classics after classics after classics? So, shout out to y'all, man. Just shout out to y'all. Let's talk about it. Daylyt versus King Los. So if you don't know who King Los is someone who has not only made a name for himself in battle rap, but also made a name for himself in the industry. He is an industry artist, most famously known for. However, people say when he came back to battle rap, he was supposed to battle Daylyt a few years ago. But, you know, Daylyt, he wasn't liking how things was going, so he decided not to go to that event. So what happened? Insert Head Ice. Head Ice versus King Los. And what the result was is that people have King Los being the best industry rapper to return to battle rap. That's the argument. It's always been King Los. He's very bar heavy, very pen heavy. Very similar to a Daylyt. Daylyt we haven't seen in a while. But Daylyt is outside. Daylyt is outside. He had a lot to say on his live yesterday. He had a lot to say. So, a lot of people were saying Daylyt took the King Los battle to, you know what I'm saying, do away with the K-Shine battle. He said, no, my friends. He said, I'm still going to battle K-Shine on Summer Madness. Don't get it confused. Don't get it confused. I still got K-Shine on Summer Madness. And I still got Lux this year, too. So we going King Los. We going Lux. We going K-Shine. And he said, hey, real sick. URL Super Fights? I ain't got a problem with that. Hey, yo, Danny Myers, you upstairs. You been out of space. URL Super Fight? I ain't got a problem with that. Organic, what you doing at KOTD? I ain't got a problem with that. This is what happens when you have power. This is what happens when you are not under a contract. When you are an independent contractor, when you're able to fill out a 1099, you can go to whatever league you want to. But is Daylyt trying to win Champion of the Year? That's really is Daylyt trying to get Champion of the Year? Because if you're telling me in 1 year he battles K-Shine, King Los, Loaded Lux, Danny Myers, real sick, and let's just say for some crazy reason he goes 5-0. That right there is a hell of a resume. For Champion of the Year, you can make an argument with that. You can make an argument with that. But shout out to Daylyt. Shout out to King Los, man. It's going to be a very interesting battle. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I'm very interested to see what Daylyt does. I'm more interested to see what Daylyt does than King Los. You know what I'm saying? I know people perceive his pen to be heavy. I know people perceive King Los's bars to be heavy. I am not 100% convinced. How many times can you do it? It's about the consistency for me. It's the consistency. But when we're talking about consistency, I got to keep it a buck. You got to keep the same energy on the other side of the room. Daylyt. Now, we talk about this battle with you and Rock pretty extensively, right? But we need to see another one of those. I need to see another one of those. Now, do I believe you can do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I need to see that type of seriousness. I need to see that type of level up. And I think we're going to get that. Because right now, you have one of the higher stocks in battle rap based off that one battle. This is a fact. So I have to believe that you're trying to continue to build that resume, build that profile. And King Los, with the big stage back, man, like, so it's one thing when it comes to main stage artists and when they come into battle rap is crowd management, because this is not a concert. Everybody there do not know what you about to say. No one, for the most part, knows what you about to say. So no one's going to be able to give you or lend you moral support. You're going to have to earn every cheer. Every single, and this is in Atlanta, and we see the crowds in Atlanta can be, hopefully it's going to be a good crowd, man. Hopefully it's going to be a super dope crowd. But King Los, what are you going to do if you get booed? All right, how are you going to be able to combat that? How are you going to overcome that? Because it can easily become an avalanche type situation if you're not on your P's and Q's. But if you're asking me who I got winning this battle, I am definitely going Daylyt on this. I think Daylyt knows exactly what he wants to do. I believe that Daylyt knows exactly what the battle rap community wants to see, more importantly. And so he's going to make it happen. He's going to make it happen. It's about to be a great one. I'm excited for it. But I know when people heard this announcement, people were not happy. But I was happy. I was happy. This latest battle to be dropped on for the MaxOUT2 card, I was happy. Warfd versus Rosenburg Raw. I like this battle. It's definitely, if you're trying to tier the battles, it's definitely coming in third out of the 3 battles that have been announced so far. But on the RBE card, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because you can get battle of the night with the first battle on RBE stage. They treat their first battle like the main event. So, placement. But I like you're getting 2 consistent battle rappers. That's one thing. You're getting 2 battle rappers who can rock a big stage, who have rocked big stages just coming off of the MaxOUT card. We've seen it. And I kind of like the similarities in careers. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, even though Rosenburg had been on URL, he's definitely a flag bearer for the RBE brand. I think Warfd at this point, you have to consider him a flag bearer for the RBE brand, even though he is definitely an independent contractor. This is another good look for both of them. It's another good look for both of them. I just think for me, although I usually like to go with experience in this, which that would lend me to picking Rosenburg Raw, I think Warfd has a chip on his shoulder. To go from Ill Will to Rosenburg Raw, and people actually had you beating Ill Will, I think for Warfd, that probably irritates him a little bit. I'm pretty sure he would have liked to have a higher name than Rosenburg Raw. If I'm just basing it off Champion of the Year 2020. So if you take your top 20 battlers in the world, Rosenburg Raw was not on that list last year. Now this year, he might be able to crack the top 20. But if we're going off last year's 2020 Champion of the Year list, to have a top 10, top 5 type battler or type battle in April with Ill Will and to get Rosenburg Raw, I think he's a little disappointed. So I expect to see a fire Warfd. And Rosenburg Raw, like I said, man, he has a level of consistency. He's been here for, 8, 9 years? Like, he's done this. He does this. He's counted out all the time. He's like the person y'all want to root against, but he always there. You can always pencil him in because he is consistent. And he does give us moments, whether you like them or not. You may not like the battle on paper, but when the battle happens, you're gonna get 3 full rounds. You're gonna get quotables. You know you're gonna get some rebuttals. I like this card. I like this card. And I like the fact that RBE and ARP are rewarding their talent. Reward your blue collar workers. Rosenburg Raw is a blue collar worker. You can put him on the card. And honestly, he's on a run. He's on a run. I don't know if people are paying attention. Rosenburg Raw is on a run. Just saying. Just saying. But I love this card, man. I really do love this card. So I think for me, though, I'm going to have to go with Warfd on this. Again, like I said, I just think he's too versatile. I think his skill set is crazy. I think his skill set is ridiculous. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Rosenburg Raw. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle. But so is Show Off. So is Show Off. But then the thing about Show Off is, like, Show Off had a way of getting under your skin. And, like, Warfd, like, he's a nice guy. He'll tell you he's a nice guy. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what we got going, man. But shout out to ARP, shout out to Lawrence, shout out to Ant, man, shout out to the whole staff, man. MaxOUT2, July 10th. Believe Music Hall. Do you believe? I know I do, because I'll be there. But this is Temperature Check. I am your host as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And like I always say, man, we just getting started.